In February 2021, the heartbreaking story of Velvin Nungari, a young Kenyan woman, garnered national attention and ignited urgent discussions about gender-based violence in the country. Known for her vibrant spirit and aspirations, Velvin's untimely death became a stark reminder of the vulnerabilities faced by many women. Velvin Nungari was born on March 13, 1997, to her mother Anne Wairimu, and she grew up without siblings. By 2016, Velvin was a student at Kenyatta University, brimming with dreams and ambitions. She was determined to be financially independent and had taken a side job as a waitress at Destiny Gardens Resort in Roiro. Friends and family described her as hardworking and dedicated, always striving to uplift those around her. Her aspirations extended beyond personal gain. She aimed to positively impact her community and inspire other young women. On the 21st day of February 2021, Velvin was serving her shift at the Destiny Gardens Resort. On that day, she met a man who was a frequenter at the resort. His name, Joseph Jenga Moremi. Joseph got intoxicated by Velvin's allure, and despite being a married man, he went ahead and asked her out. They set for a date, only 2 days after. On 23rd February 2021, Joseph picked Velvin at Kirigiti. The two drove to Q West restaurant in Roiro, where they enjoyed life with some few drinks. They later set for Kijito Gardens restaurant in Kamiti, and while there, Velvin had tried to invite her friend to the party, but the friend declined with claims that it was too late. Velvin told her friend that she would call her once she got home after the date. She therefore requested her friend to keep checking up on her through phone calls just in case something happened. As the night thickened, Joseph and Velvin moved to Synax Hotel at the same area of Kahawa West. They enjoyed life there and had merry, the intensity of their connection deepening as witnessed on the video here, that is around 9:30 p.m. They picked their keys and went to a private room. What happened in that room remains a mystery known only to God. At around 10:30 p.m., Joseph left the premises, informing one of the employees who worked there that he had to leave. He could not stay for the night, being a married man who was awaited at home by his wife and children. He, however, claimed to have left Velvin behind in the room, sleeping since she needed rest. He disclosed to the employee that her room was unlocked, maybe the reason being to make it easier for them to find her. Joseph took Velvin's phone with him. In early afternoon on the 24th February, Velvin made a call to her friend using a new phone alleged to have been borrowed from someone within the hotel. She requested her friend to come pick her, and that the friend should come accompanied by another person. Velvin confirmed to her friend that she was not okay and she needed help. When the friend arrived together with another woman, they found Velvin looking quite out of shape, in bad pain, naked, and as if her body had been intoxicated with a substance. They took her to Kenyatta Teaching and Referral Hospital. Velvin was admitted at the emergency and the doctors quickly started to examine her. They would come to learn that she had a broken spine and the pelvic. Learning the intensity of her situation from the doctor's report, Velvin's friend and the other lady went to report the matter at Kiamombi police station. Following the report, Joseph was arrested and charged with forced violation of an intimate nature. He however claimed that he left the hotel at 10:30, and yet some employees stated that they had seen him leave at around 5 a.m. in the morning. For your information, the term forced violation of an intimate nature typically refers to an consensual act that involves physical intimacy, often encompassing sexual assault or abuse. It signifies a serious violation of personal boundaries and autonomy, where one individual imposes their will on another without consent. Joseph was later released on a cash bail of 100,000 Kenyan shillings. Unfortunately, the intensity on Velvin's body were too severe, and on the 9th of March 2021, he sadly passed on. An autopsy was conducted and indicated that she had several spinal fractures as well as the pelvic. There was also fluid deposits in her body, consistent with sexual assault. Velvin endured a horrific act of violence. Reports suggested she was assaulted in a place that should have felt safe. The circumstances surrounding the incident underscore the widespread threat of violence against women in our society. Despite her bravery and resilience during this traumatic experience, Velvin sustained severe injuries that required immediate medical attention, which unfortunately could not save her life. When news of her death emerged, it sparked outrage among the public.
SGBV cases in the country continues to increase and is resulting to gender-motivated killing, which we commonly refer to as femicide. 2020 and 28 February 2021, we had received a total of 1,071 SGBV cases that were reported through our toll-free number, majority of this being intimate partner violence at 511, followed by defilement cases at 133.
In the wake of Velvin's death, a collective outcry arose. Activists, community leaders, and concerned citizens came together to demand justice. Vigils were organized to honor her memory, and social media campaigns emerged using hashtag Justice for Velvin to raise awareness about the issue of gender violence. These actions highlighted the urgent need for systematic change in how such crimes are addressed in Kenya. One famous and respected woman, Janet Mbogwa, condemned the act, demanding for the perpetrator to be held accountable for what he did. Her outcry was among others. Shockingly enough, some individuals directed blame at her for her involvement with Joseph, a married man. This unjust narrative suggested that she somehow deserved what happened to her, perpetuating harmful stereotypes about victims of violence. Victim blaming in such circumstances is deeply problematic. It shifts responsibility away from the perpetrator and places it on the victim, implying that their action or choices justified the violence they experienced. This not only exacerbates the trauma for the victim, but also reinforces a culture where individuals feel unsafe and unsupported in sharing their experiences. Victim blaming ignores the fundamental issue. No one deserves to be harmed, regardless of their circumstances or relationships. It distracts from the need for accountability and societal change, allowing harmful behavior to persist unchecked. Instead of blaming victims, we must focus on creating a supportive environment that empowers survivors and holds perpetrators accountable for their actions. Velvin's tragic story became a catalyst for discussion on various critical issues, including the necessity of stronger legal protections for women, improved response mechanisms for victims, and comprehensive education on consent and respect. Advocacy groups emphasized that her case was part of a large pattern of violence that required immediate attention from both policymakers and society at large. Velvin's story served as a powerful reminder of the work that still needs to be done to ensure safety for all individuals, particularly women. Her legacy encourages ongoing dialogue and the importance of community vigilance, support for survivors, and accountability for perpetrators of violence. In an action towards change, Brian Kaitano, Maseno University alumnus and young voice on Kenya society, covers the issue of gender-based violence in the country. Can the rise in femicide in Kenya be explained? Can it be erased? And how? Are men failing to condemning femicide in Kenya? He states that very few men in Kenya are openly coming out to speak out against femicide. There seems to be a huge disparity in the male versus female attitudes towards gender-based violence in general, and it might take a long time to shed toxic masculinity from Kenyan society. The patriarchal mindset affects men so much that they hardly realize how much it affects them for them to think that the fight against femicide is not their fight. This needs to change, he said. Men would be wise to speak up against violence without forgetting that in their silence, they are actually complicit in creating a world full of inequality, hate, and violation of the basic human rights of their daughters, sisters, cousins, friends, aunties, and mothers. Had the country come together, with both men and women actively advocating against femicide, many victims such as Rita Wayeni, Harriet Moraa, Mercy Cherono, Faith Adongo, Sylvia Mutinda, and Ivy Wangeshi might have been spared. A united front could have created a stronger societal response to this pressing issue. By condemning violence against women collectively, we could foster an environment of support and safety. This, however, demands for greater need to hold perpetrators like Joseph Jenga Moremi accountable for their actions. Velvin Nungari was laid to rest on March 17, 2021 in Murang'a, Sabasaba during an emotional ceremony that brought together friends and family. The atmosphere was filled with grief as loved ones gathered to honor her memory. Heartfelt eulogies painted a picture of a vibrant, compassionate individual who touched many lives. Friends shared stories that highlighted her kindness and unwavering spirit, celebrating the joy she brought to those around her. Relatives spoke of her dreams and aspirations, emphasizing the potential that was tragically cut short. During the burial, there was a powerful call for justice, with friends and family demanding that the perpetrator be held accountable for his actions. The ceremony served as a poignant reminder of the impact she had had on her community and the urgent need for change. Many vowed to continue her legacy by advocating for justice and supporting one another. In the midst of sorrow, there was a shared commitment to honor Velvin by working towards a safer future for all. The outpouring of love and support underscored the importance of community in time of loss. Velvin will be remembered not just for her untimely departure, but for the light she brought into the lives of others. The DCI Kenya was now looking into the case, and so Joseph was arrested and held in custody for 2 weeks as the detectives collected more evidence. On the 29th of March, he was, however, released on a bail of 200,000 Kenyan shillings. The court had denied the prosecution team a request for the detaining of Joseph for up to 30 days to allow further investigation, and so the only suspect for the murder of Velvin Nungari was released and started roaming free. But due to public outcry, Joseph was rearrested for the third time. and the last time now. He was taken to remand at the Industrial Area Facility, facing the charges of unaliving Velvin Nungari Kenyanjui. The last hearing of the case was chaired at the Kiambu Law Courts on the 3rd of April 2024. As of September 2024, according to details and information collected by Murder Chronicles crew, the case is still open and ongoing. And as we reflect on the tragic case of Velvin Nungari, our hearts go to her family and loved ones during this incredible difficult time. We hope they find strength and solace in their memories of her, and that justice is served as the perpetrator is held accountable for his actions. May Velvin's soul rest in eternal peace. And to our loyal Murder Chronicle fans, thank you for joining us in this exploration of the complexities of justice and loss. As we continue to uncover the truth behind these stories, we invite you to stay engaged. There are more cases to delve into, more mysteries to unravel, and always a deeper understanding to gain. Together, let's keep seeking justice and honoring the lives that we are taken too soon.